sports, and we've got two teams who were AFC rivals for almost 25 years. Hope y'all ready for this one. Coming up next.
It's known as one of the loudest stadiums in sports for a reason, and it'll only get louder as the collective 12th man starts cheering for their Seahawks. Welcome to Lumen Field in Seattle. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Daniel Carlson ready to get us started. And we're underway from Seattle. Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So out come the Seahawks for their first offensive possession. They're led out by someone amidst their second act as an NFL QB. He was a second-rounder back in 2013, Geno Smith.
When Geno Smith won Comeback Player of the Year, it was really hard to find another comp. You know, the NFL, we love to always compare and contrast guys from different eras or project them moving forward. But there just were not many stories like Geno Smith, who just waited and persevered a decade in the NFL before he flourished. But what came to life finally was just the arm strength, the accuracy, the playmaking ability that was there at West Virginia, and it just took some time and maybe a little love from Pete Carroll at that time to really elevate his confidence and elevate his game.
That's caught. Here's Zach Charbonnet. He'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Marcus Epps making the play.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Throwing on third, Smith. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Jacorian Bennett has it. And the Raiders get the football on the first turnover of the contest. Wow, what an exciting start to this game, Brock. Apologies to the former QB and you. It's not an opening drive touchdown, but an interception instead.
Yeah, exciting for one side. That would be the defense. Demoralizing for the other side as an offense. First salvo, listen, it goes to the defense. And now it really sets the stage for what I love and what you love, Kate, in this game of adjustments, in the game of back and forth. Who's going to respond next?
So here come the Raiders now for their opening drive. They're brought out by someone who's kept the exact energy now as he had when he entered the league back in 2019. It's Gardner Minshew.
Kate, I don't know how many people know the story of Gardner Minshew and how close he was to becoming a GA and coaching. Mike Leach got on the phone with him and said, hey, why don't you take one more swing at this thing? Come out to Pullman, Washington, and lead my pirate ship. And all he did with that mustache was light the college football world on fire. And all he's been in the NFL with multiple organizations is that same spark plug that just makes something happen.
Raiders getting their first shot inside the red zone. They've got 1st and 10 right along the 20. Up the middle they go with Madison. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 17. Completed to his running back. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Caught by Marshall. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down, well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And with third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Inside handoff goes to Madison. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
You know what I love about that play call? It was simple. Nobody overthinking on the sideline or out on the field, just an offense going to work and moving those chains.
Right on the doorstep now. Here's first and goal from inside the 1. Here's Madison again. Scores! Touchdown, Las Vegas! The Raiders pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. For the offense, you gotta love it, Brock. Points to begin the game as he runs it in for an opening drive touchdown.
And you've got one very happy running back right over there on the sideline right now. These backs, they do feel the pressure to find the end zone every single week. It's not easy to do, but to do it this early and get out of the way, big time.
Daniel Carlson on for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Raiders will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Kickoff taken at the 3. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So Seattle retakes the field for their second series. And they got off on the wrong foot here with that opening drive interception that led to points the other way.
Yeah, and what this defense has shown is they are going to capitalize on your mistakes, and not just a little, but by a lot. So from here on out, you better play some mistake-free football because this defense is hunting for more.
Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have second down and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
From the 31. He gets it complete to Kenneth Walker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First and 10 now. Here's Smith. Taking his shot. Deep down the field it goes. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Back to the air. It's Smith. Into the hands of Walker. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. 16 yards on the play. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident a screen would get them enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
New set of downs for him from the 46. First down, Smith to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the first quarter. Neither side separating much so far. More from Lumen Field in just a minute. About set for the second quarter. Seahawks football here. They have second and pretty long here. Another try following the sack. And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice gain.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. From the gun, Smith. He sends this one to the end zone. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
Oh, that is going to haunt him. A drop touchdown in the end zone. We'll see how good his mental toughness is, if he can move past it quickly and make an impact for them later.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And it sails out of bounds. That's a good kick. Got all the way down to what looks like the 10-yard line before leaving the field. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at the Raiders' offense. And they take the field exactly where they want it to be, Brock. Up a touchdown early, and with the home crowd a little quieter than normal.
I'm not going to lie to you, Kate. I think most quarterbacks, competitors love playing on the road when they do just this. Just quiet them, right? Turn them against their own team. They were quiet after that opening touchdown. You score another one, they're going to start to murmur, and we might even hear a few boo birds.
From the shotgun, Minshew. That one's on the mark, Jacoby Myers. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Move the chains! Got to move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Out of the gun, Minshew. Marshall there to bring it in. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They got 24 yards on the play. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
He gets this to Michael Mayer. And they bring him down around the 34.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. They give it to Madison. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
1st and 10, Minshew. Escapes the pocket. Now here he goes. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
2nd and 3 now. Started a little slow, but we've arrived at the 2-minute warning. It's the Raiders, looking at 2nd and 3. Minshew working from the gun. Complete here to Bowers. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. From the red zone now. He has the touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Carlson now to add one more. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders double their lead to 14. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Seattle offense eager to get back on the field. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Chased out to... Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. The Seahawks calling for a timeout. They're 1st and 3. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. Trying again, following the sack. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, and he just hurls this one away. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Handoff to Walker from the gun. And he'll get this up to the 19-yard line as he stopped. And now the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Michael Dixon on to punt. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. Jukes out a 1-stop. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun here. And his perfect start is over. That's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
That's taken in by Tucker. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. A timeout taken by Vegas. That's its 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the 2 of them.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Now Minshew. Into the hands of Tucker, complete. And they bring him down around the 34. Second and 3 now. Sticking in the air with Minshew. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. And there's the timeout from the offense. Just 4 seconds left to go. And that play, that should help them get some points here going into the half. Daniel Carlson out to try this Raiders field goal. It's a 34-yarder from that right hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. So at halftime, the Raiders fighting to an advantage on the road. Now we'll jump from the West Coast to the East Coast, down to our studios in Orlando. Jonathan Coachman standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a running back, Alexander Madison, who put together a solid first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. Man, he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Out come the Raiders. They'll have it first to begin the third quarter. And they really leaned on that passing game in the first half, Brock. Let's see if that emphasis continues to start the third. Play action, it's Minshew. He's got Bowers working the sideline.
You know, Kate, over the years, I have heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Back to throw, Minshew. He'll get this to Tucker. And he'll go down, we'll say right at the 39-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's going to work his way almost to midfield. That's stopped at the 48. Good rip on first down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Enough goes to Madison, running right. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to first down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on a 3rd and short.
Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. Minshew to throw. That's caught for the first. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Throwing on first is Minshew. Complete, it's Myers. And he's taken down at the 30. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's good for a Raiders first.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Minshew. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Madison. And looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Julian Love bringing that one to an end.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
And the Seahawks adding an extra DB here. Third down coming. Throwing here, Minshew. Setting up the screen. He's still going at the 30. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. First, second, third down, sometimes even fourth. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
And that one is good. A little longer, but no problem at all. And that one was hit great. It sails on through without incident.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Return starts at the 9. He's got a lane up past the 30. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. The Seahawks offense running out now. They haven't come up with an answer quite yet on the scoreboard, and they take over down 20-0. First down, Smith to throw. Complete to DK Metcalf. And he's out of bounds after getting this to the opposing 45. That's 16 on the pickup. And it sets up Seattle with first down.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15+ at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
This is Walker on second. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Divine Diablo there on the tackle. Give him only a couple that time. It's going to be third down. So we're through 3 here. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the 4th quarter. Third and just 2 to go. Shotgun snap to Smith. And he's there to knock away the pass and force a 4th down.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. From the gun, Smith. That's caught beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Oh, I love 4th downs. It just brings out the very best, and you get to see how you handle the most pressure. And it turns out, well, they handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Smith on first down. That's a catch. Jackson Smith-Njigba. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
He just made a difficult throw to the outside look elementary, Kate, and that's not easy. The placement, excellent. And it helps set his target up to put some more yards on that stat sheet.
1st and goal. Here's Walker. And he's going to fight forward and get in. Touchdown! The Seahawks get it back to within 2 possessions. Kenneth Walker, the touchdown. He would not be denied that close to the end zone, Brock. I think it might have taken 5 or 6 guys tackling him to keep him from diving across the line for 6.
Certainly a second effort touchdown, no question. The backs who become fan favorites, we've seen it through the generations, and they set the curve for their peers, are the ones who just fight through that stop. It will not be denied of a touchdown.
Now it's Jason Myers on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Seahawks drop the lead back to 13. Still down a couple of scores after that. They're going to set up for the onside kick. And the Raiders are able to secure the kick. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Well, kind of feels like we're starting to get to that point, Brock.
And what point is that, Kate?
You know, the bold point of the game where you have to try something bold could end up becoming a play that finally sinks him, though.
Yeah, it's time for desperation. Without a defensive stop here, it's really hard to lay out the scenarios for much success. Every second matters now when you don't come up with that onside kick.
Hits him on the in route. And they bring him down around the 34.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, with out routes or in routes just like that.
Running right, it's Madison. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make third down easier to handle instead, well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this third down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Minshew. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Well, after recording the sack, it looks like he is the one who's shaken up. We're going to get a stoppage here as he gets looked at. Now the Raiders readying for the punt, and they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. And that's well into the end zone, so a missed chance to stick them near the goal line. Instead, they're going to have the ball at the 20. Now Seattle all set to go here on offense. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. 1st and 10 now. Here's Smith. That one's incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there. No luck connecting with Jackson Smith and Jigba. So it's 2nd down coming up.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
2nd and 10. Again, it's Smith. Pass complete to Walker. And he'll get it up to the 27.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Smith on 3rd and short. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from Seattle. Seahawks down by a very unlucky 13. Down a couple of scores, but still some time left and 3 timeouts as well. It's 1st and 10. And again, it's Smith. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. Back to the air, it's Smith. Completed to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
Some certainly do it better than others, Kate, but every running back in the league today has got to do just that. You cannot be a one-dimensional back in the league anymore. You can't. You got to be able to handle your business, both toting the ball as a runner and, really importantly, as a check-down outlet on short throws.
Here he is to throw. He finds Fant. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. Need to work as quick as you can here, Brock. 2 timeouts left, down 2 scores. It's first down. Out of the gun, here's Smith. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. He's got it deep downfield. It's a Seattle touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Myers to add the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Seahawks get it back to within 6. Approaching the final minute here, they need to find a way to defy the odds and get this back. And the Raiders are able to secure the kick. Ooh, can't get it back on the onside kick. Can still get a final chance with a quick 3-and-out, though, albeit not with a lot of time for them left to work with.
Yeah, Kate, unless they can force a miracle turnover, and we've seen that before, a 3-and-out is really the only avenue remaining. Defense, go buckle it up.
The Vegas offense getting set for another drive now. Their lead's still more than a field goal, thankfully, should the worst happen, Brock. But obviously the goal here is to hang on to the ball and try to run this game out.
Yeah, the goal is to get to the best formation in the history of offensive football. The victory formation.
The victory formation.
That is all that you're thinking right now is just make these plays, run out this clock so we could take one more knee and celebrate.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll go right back to Madison. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Now the Seahawks are going to spend their 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Here's the give to Madison. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
That's a BYOB. You got to be your own blocker. It would have taken the entire defense piling on to stop him from getting that first down. Well done.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So it's a road win for the Raiders in this one. And finally, Brock, they can exhale and take a few breaths, because I don't imagine any of them were breathing easy during that one with how close this game was.
Them or us? Or both.
All of us.
Yeah,
All of the above.
It is so hard, Kate, to match the adrenaline surge they feel right now and that they felt at every major turn throughout the second half. There's just something about a close game, the intensity that's there in every moment that you love to experience as a player, and that you hope in all these moments you can execute so you're the one celebrating and riding that wave of emotion.
So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. The Raiders winners.